on, President Akufo-Addo is urging the Ministry of Finance and the Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC, to work closely to ensure the prompt provision of information on the use of the country's oil revenue. This follows the disagreements between the two bodies over PIAC's complaint that the ministry has not been forthcoming with information it needs to execute its mandate. This has often led to accusations that the ministry has failed to fully account for revenue. President Akufo-Addo has been speaking on the matter at the launch of the 10th anniversary celebration of PIAC.
There is one issue which has to be addressed. It has to do with the delay in transmission of information between PIAC and the Ministry of Finance, emanating from the distortions in the deadline schedules of the reporting obligations of the two institutions. This has sometimes stoked controversy, which in my view has not been helpful, and an amendment of the relevant provisions in the Petroleum Revenue Management Act could help resolve the situation. Having said this, let me reiterate the fact the government is fully committed to supporting PIAC and will help ensure that petroleum revenues are well managed for the benefit of all Ghanaians.
Chairman of PIAC, Professor Kwame Adom-Frimpong, says PIAC has so far lived up to its mandate of ensuring that petroleum revenue is used judiciously.
A major achievement of the PIAC has been its role in legitimizing government commitment to good governance in Ghana's oil and gas sector. Since its establishment in September 2011, the Public Interest Accountability Committee, PIAC, has effectively exercised its oversight responsibility of monitoring and evaluating management of Ghana petroleum resources by the Ghana government and stakeholders institutions. According to Section 51, the Petroleum Revenue Management Act 815, the PIAC is to produce 2 reports every year. The first is by 15th March and the second by 15th September. Over the 10 years, the PIAC has been able to satisfy the above legal requirements and has produced coherent reports and have raised critical issues of transparency and accountability in Ghana oil and gas sector. To be specific, the PIAC has produced 18 impressive reports from 2011 to 2020 on the oil and gas sector, where details on the activities of the sector had been highlighted and thoroughly discussed. All of these reports had been outlined several key findings and recommendations with a view to enhancing transparency and accountability in the nation's oil and gas sector.
Secretary of Ghana's Economic Management Team, Professor Joe Amoako-Tufo, who delivered an address at the program, said there is a possibility of a shortfall in the country's oil revenue that all must be concerned about.
We are, as far as Jubilee 10, Sankofa and so forth, we are almost taking into 1/3 of our reserves, more than 1/3 of our reserves. What is left are all in deep, shallow waters. Our future then depends on our capacity to be able to do exploration in those deep waters, 2,000 and above. You need a technology, it's very expensive. Very few oil companies would dare go into those deep waters. The AKs and the ExxonMobils are the exceptions. As we're going, Mr. President, our industry 10 years down the road would depend on how well we can do in those deep waters. It depends on how our national oil company itself can be emboldened and strengthened to see how much it can leverage, work with these partners for us to continue to have control of our oil industry.